it's gonna be a long day. Hi everybody, it's Jessica Nicole Dickerson, aka JND, and I'm coming back with another video. So for today's video, I'm gonna do a 24-hour read along, which is really funny because I was planning on doing this on the 24th, but today is actually, it's currently Wednesday, November 21st. It is 11:39, so I'm gonna be doing this for Thanksgiving instead. I don't know why, but like I was watching all of Read by Zoe and Clockwork Princess's videos of like them reading for 24 hours literally all day today. All day. So I was just like, why am I waiting till Saturday? Like, I just want to read it now. I was even writing down all the page numbers and planning the books that I wanted to read. So I just decided, you know what? Today is the day. So I am going to do it. So I've been napping a lot today. So I wanted to quickly run over my TBR with you guys. Hello. You may be crooked. Sorry. I'm just pulling randomly from the stack. These may not be read in that same order. But firstly, American Street by Ibby Savoy, Dear Martin by Nick Stone, A Long Way Down by Jason Reynolds, Beneath the Sugar Skies by Shannon Maguire, lastly, last but not least, Piecing Me Together by Renee Watson. This is the goal, and it's cool because I've actually taken these all out from the library, which is super nifty, right? So I have 20 minutes before I can start reading. I think I'm going to make a pot of coffee, get some cold water, and possibly get some more food because I woke up hella late. I woke up at like 1 p.m. today. So I've had actually 2 meals. I had breakfast and lunch, and now it's my dinner time, I guess. So stay tuned to see if I can read. How many books are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 books. See if I can read these 5 books in the next 24 hours. I believe in me. Okay, so I got myself a little bit of ramen because it's midnight. I'm not gonna cook anything fabulous right now. I don't feel like it. Ha ha ha. I have my hot coffee in my Christmas cup, of course. What else? And then I got my tall cup of ice water. That is what's really gonna help me stay up, to be honest. So I have 4 minutes until I have to start reading, so I'll probably eat and read. So haha, fun times. Just try not to moisten the library books. But I have no idea what book I'm going to read first. Kind of wish I did like an Instagram poll to gauge which one should I do first. I just picked them. And this is also super good because the books that I picked are all, besides that they're all from the library, and they're all like pretty diverse books. They're all inscribed or scribed or however you say it. So very excited because that means I'm actually going to finish them all in a promptly manner. Super stoked about that. I'm gonna get cracking on my ramen / reading. It's midnight. And you know what that means. If I can focus. It's gonna start reading, and I think I'm going to start with American Street by Ibby Savoy. Oh, 12:01. I'm already late. Damn it. Literally 40 minutes into the readathon, and my boyfriend calls me, interrupting my reading. Say hi, wave to the camera, wave to the internet people. Rude. I guess that stops all productivity now. Rude. Hi guys, so it's late. It's, what is it? 4:35, and sorry, I'm really quiet, but it's late. But I made some tea because I finished the pot of coffee I made. And I'm still reading American Street. I think I have like less than 100 pages to go. I'm on 222, and it is so good. Like, really good. so I'm excited to keep reading it. But yeah, and like we're 4.5 hours into the readathon and I still haven't finished the book, but that's okay. I just finished American Street by Ibby Zaboy, and I don't know how to feel about it. I'm sorry I'm really quiet, but like it's very early, like the sun is just rising. But I have very mixed opinions. Like I loved it. The ending had me shook, and I feel like a lot of the books I've been reading, like the diverse contemporary that face like a lot of like modern issues, they just have no resolution. Like bad shit happens and then it's like going on with life, and I don't know how I feel about that, because it still hurts, but it's like, but that's life. But at the same time, I don't want it to be like that. I'm going to read, I think I'm going to read Piecing Me Together. And I kind of just realized all these books might be really sad. So, ow, might have to fix that. So I might save Beneath the Sugar Skies for the very last book, because I just feel like everything is so sad and I'm not ready. Sorry, I know my hair is a mess, but I had to talk about this. Okay, so I'm on page 94 of Piecing Me Together, and I finally get why it's called Piecing Me Together, because she likes collaging, and she may do an art piece about it. That's cool. But oh my god, this is like, I guess, a healthy sized woman, and like she's curvy, and like I got to a page where boys were talking about her and like judging her appearance, and you know, like it just it really pissed me off, because they're talking about women, objectifying them, and recently in the book the girls were just talking about dating and loving yourself and blah blah blah, and you know, like how women are always taught about relationships, but boys, like no one ever sits down and talks to them about, hey, shut the fuck up, don't just talk about her boobs or scale her from 1 to 10. And then when the boys try and talk to her, she rejects them, because it's like, you just judged me based off my appearance, so no, I don't want to talk to you. And they're just like, fuck you, you fat fuck, and then you shouldn't eat a Dairy Queen because you should be on a diet. And then she's on the bus like, I guess I shouldn't eat my food because I'm a fat girl and no one wants to see a fat girl eat Dairy Queen on the bus. And I'm just like, this book, it's been making so many good points, and I'm dead. And I really hope that she gets what she wants, because she deserves it. And those boys were assholes, and a lot of the girls she goes to school with are assholes, and I'm just like, why is life like this? I'm sorry, this vlog is gonna be a lot of me sitting in the same place just telling you I have feelings, must express my feelings. And then yeah, my hair looking super ratchet, but gonna keep going. Oh, I might get breakfast, I'm so hungry. I'm gonna do that. And make coffee. Okay guys, I am feeling all kinds of ways. So piecing me together is like everything a book should be, you know? Like I feel like I've been reading a lot of like diverse contemporaries that are about modern issues. Contemporary means modern, I don't know why I keep saying that, but I don't know how to explain. Basically it's about like black life, like living in communities where there's a lot of assumptions about what, and talking about very popular things like how people are treated because of their hair, their weight, like all this stuff that's really, really good. But this book does it in like the most perfect way. I haven't finished it yet. I have 20 pages left, but I just like, I'm feeling so many types of ways, and think I almost want to write or like do a whole review for Piecing Me Together, because it's just so amazing. Because like, okay, like The Hate You Give was great, but it strictly talks about how she reacts after this certain event, and how there's a few moments where there's that, like, someone questions her about this and how she reacts to that. But this, like, the way that did it was very, I feel like, minimal. Like, it's not in your face. And when you're a black female, it's in your face every day. There's instances happening on repeat where you're just like, this is your life, this has become the norm. And I feel like Piecing Me Together, it really reflects life and all the little nuances of caring about, you know, women who have privilege, or your privilege versus other privileges in other neighborhoods. And there's always this feeling of competition and always feeling like people are trying to fix you, or they're like the lack of opportunities, and the struggle with friendships and having colored friends versus non-colored friends. And oh, it just talks about everything, but it doesn't just talk about it, and you don't just see the struggle that this girl's going through, but you also are there for the resolve that her mentor and her mom and her friend help her through. So it's not just like hitting you and smacking you in the face with all this difficulty, but it's smacking you in the face with all this difficulty, but also having a healthy discussion about it. I am just so for this book right now. I cannot tell you. My heart. I wish every book was like this, because I read If You Come Softly by Jacqueline Woodson too, and like Brown Girl Dreaming and American Street, and they're all great, don't get me wrong, but those are very much smack you in the face and just leave you there to cry kind of books. There's no resolution, there's no what do you learn besides whatever you think about in your head afterwards, or whatever discussions you have outside of the book, not having discussions inside the book. So this book would be perfect to like give to a class and like read and discuss, because it's more obvious and there's a healthy dialogue that's demonstrated rather than being practiced, because not everybody has that like kind of practice. Like, no one in my family has read The Hate You Give or Jacqueline Woodson's books, or I've never read those during school. We read like Romeo and Juliet and The Giver. So I feel like that's a great book just to like, you don't need to have that discussion with other people as a young person, you know. And I'm just like, oh, I'm feeling it, and I'm so excited, and I'm gonna finish it, and I'm just like, oh, it is so good. Like every other page I'm just going, and it's great because it talks about conflict, but it also makes me smile because she's growing so much, and though there are hard things going on in her life, it's still life, and she's learning, and that's how it is. It's not just all horrible events after horrible events and not cute romantic events. Then there's this dramatic flip where everything ends and you have to figure out how to pick up the pieces and the book ends, you know? Like it's a constant flow of shit happens, okay, how do I react, how do I internalize, how do I learn, how do I make myself better, you know? Because you can't rely on the world fixing itself, you have to rely on your reactions. And I'm just going on about this for you guys. I just think I read one of my, like, either the second favorite book of the year or the first favorite book of the year. But I'm like, I'm dead. I'm like, I'm not dead. I'm woke. I'm woke, guys. So woke. Okay, I'm done. I've been rambling, but like, I guess I'll give you a time update and let you know what's going on with the readathon. It is 10:40 a.m. and I'm just having a little mini freak out by myself. If I was ever to write a book, I'd want it to be like this, where it's not just informative on a different person's experience, because that's what books are about. It's a different person's experience and journey. I wouldn't want it to only be on the hardship, but I'd also want it to be on the learning. And if there was a lack of learning and they were making mistakes, I'd still want some sort of dialogue to like point it out. And like and I'm not saying like you're doing wrong things. No, it could be open-ended, but like this, at least there's some sort of dialogue, something or other, where it's like, oh, this friend doesn't get me, and she's talking to her other friend, and her other friend says, well, maybe try talking to her. You're worth, like, your feelings are worth talking about. Like, just saying that, it's like, it's great. I'm in love. I want to read Renee Watson's other books now. I'm like, I'm so happy right now. I'm so fulfilled. Okay, back to reading. It's now 10:57, so like 20-ish minutes later, and I finished 20, or is it 10? I don't remember. It's a little bit later. Oh my god. I love this book so much. I do realize that maybe, like, as I was like hyping it up so much, I do realize that maybe it's not super realistic, just because like a lot of things do get resolved in a good fashion, but at the same time there's so much still happening to her initially that isn't really fair or justified. So I think it's very kid friendly, and I could see why maybe some people older may go like, this is not true to life, like I don't have these opportunities. But at the same time, she talks about everything and kind of like in her situation still figures out what she can do, which I think is what everybody does in their life. So I think it's true to life in that essence, but it's also like very kid friendly, you know? I don't know. I just love it so much, and I want everyone to read this, because I think this and the Poet X, everybody just read it. Just do it. If you don't do it, you can't be my friend anymore. But yeah, I finished my second book for the day. Yay! It's about to be 11. I guess it's a really, really long time to only read 2 books. But I'm a slow reader, and it's okay, because I have halfway of the day left, and these books are kind of tiny, so there is hope. I loved that book, and you will never hear the end of it. I'm sorry. Warning, fair warning. So I'm on my Goodreads, and I just like to point out, this is the first time this year that I've seen that, yay, I'm on track. Literally 2 seconds ago, or when I started reading today, it said that I was 2 books behind, and normally I'm like 2 or 3 or 4 books behind, so woo! I'm dying. Okay, so I am 70 pages into Dear Martin, and this isn't a huge spoiler, but it's like a little low-key spoiler. Not really. It's not about the plot. It's like a line. I want to read you a line because it's too funny, and hopefully it'll encourage you to read this book. So basically, this is about a boy who's writing letters to writing letters to Martin Luther King, you know, and he's writing from present time about his issues being a black man. So besides the very serious issues this story tackles, it also tackles some romantic stuff, which is also kind of racially based, but more comedic and more funny. So the two kind of balance each other. One's funnier, but still tackling a serious issue, but it's more comedic, whereas the other one's more serious and like, oh my god, I can't believe he has to do that. This boy, his friends or he and his best friend are talking, and like his friend's making fun of him. The main character is Justice. He's making fun of Justice for not dating this girl and like having relationships with this kind of trashy girl. And then he goes, dude, I gotta tell you a secret. And his friend's like, wait, what? And his friend goes, I'm kind of scared of black girls. I'm dead. Like, how do you say that? Like, I'm not like insulting him or anything, because I actually know there are people out there who probably think like, oh, like black girls intimidate me because of the, like, you know, oh, they're loud, oh, they're blah blah blah, or they just never ran into them, and like they've only dated white girls, or they've only dated Asian girls, and other races intimidate them. I just wasn't expecting this from this book. I wasn't expecting it to be this funny, but at the same time tackling things. So I'm loving it, and I just thought that comment was hilarious, that I'm scared of black girls. It was just funny. Like, so I just had to share that with you. Dear Martin by Nick Stone. But it's probably gonna crush my soul in a little bit. I know it. It's gonna happen. But it has its gems, and I'm loving it. Okie dokie. So it is 2:34, I think it said on the phone. And I just finished Dear Martin by Nick Stone. And this, I'm so conflicted, being honest. I just like literally finished it like 2 seconds ago. I really like the first half before the really like enticing event, which wasn't actually enticing but just tragic and sad. I thought was very good and well balanced between the tragedy and the humor. And then, you know, when the tragedy hit, like, humor stopped, of course, because life is hard and you don't want to be humorous when shit's hit the fan. So I think I liked it, and I think I really liked the beginning half. And I really like how they handled and wrapped up the ending, because of course not everything ends perfectly, but there can be some resolve that gives hope and inspires hope and friendship and loyalty and all that stuff. So I think I liked it, but at the same time I want to throw the book as far away as possible and possibly murder the book. So I think that's just because of the contents of it, which could also be a really good thing, because, you know, books that infuriate you, like, why do they infuriate you? Because they're real and relatable. So yeah, I got mixed feelings. I think I'm going with 4 out of 5 stars for this one, because I did really like it. Ah man, it just hit so hard. I don't know, it may be a 5 out of 5, but I think it's more like a 4 out of 5. And it was good. Like, it is just TMI, but if I had a son, I'd be like, read this book. Like, not when he's like 10, that'd be really scary. I wouldn't want that. But like, as an educational tool of, I don't know, it wouldn't be that inspiring. I guess it isn't an inspiring I'm so conflicted. I don't know. It's a good discussion point. I might make my boyfriend look at this, but he probably wouldn't read it. He'd probably also want to throw it out the window. Well, finish my 3rd book. This is gonna be a chatty-ish vlog. I apologize, but the books I picked make me feel all kinds of ways. I'm like shooketh. But yeah, next book on the list is A Long Way Down by Jason Reynolds, which also is gonna give me, I think, major feels, but we'll see. So I just finished A Long Way Down by Jason Reynolds, and I whacked myself with the book. It is currently 3:47, so I finished my 4th book of the day. Pretty cool. This was written in verse, like, you know, poetry, free verse, and so it's a really quick read, like an hour maybe. This one I'm struggling with, because if you ever read The 5 People You Meet in Heaven, I feel like this is another version of that, but rather focusing on a veteran. We're focusing on a kid who has this kind of idea, or the rules of his society in his head, that he feels that he needs to do. And like, reading it at first, I'm like, I wasn't in love with it. I mean, like, I enjoyed it. There were some few jokes, but I didn't feel connected to a lot of the characters. I got a little confused on who's this and who did that, and I had to think about it for a hot second. I love how it was written, because I like free verse, and I thought it was written really well, and he had a lot of different elements to it that I thought were really interesting. Though I found the elements interesting, I found that maybe, like, the writing execution was great, but possibly the plot execution was not as great. It's hard to explain, because on Scribd, it also had a author interview at the end where he explained, like, there was no lesson in this book. I don't think about lessons. I just, you know, that this is the reality for some people, that, you know, they live in a society where there's rules and social standards that, like, we may not know of, and that we don't empathize enough with humans that are in these situations. And he's talking about kids who are in juvenile detentions, like serious shit. Like, they're in juvenile detention for like 10 years or whatever, and they're like 13, and these kids thought they were doing what was right for them. But then, like, if you look at society, they've never been taught to, like, hey, if someone kills, you know, your brother, you don't kill the killer. But that's what I was grown up in a very different environment. So he talks about how you need to reflect on their environment, and how a lot of the people that he talked to, because Jason Reynolds speaks to a lot of these people who are in juvie, and they're like, yeah, we've been having gang wars since like the 1960s, and it's just an ongoing this person killed that person, so that person killed this person, and this person killed that. And like, that's just how the society has become. And not accepting it, but empathizing with these kids, because he's like, there's thousands of kids who are in this situation, that it's a problem. And I don't know, I guess for me, he didn't say this in the interview. For me, it's like, okay, I empathize with these kids. What can I do to help them? Like, it's not that I can educate them. I wish I could help more people, but I guess it's also the idea of just understanding their situation. These people didn't have someone looking after them. No one's ever told them, hey, it's okay to cry, or hey, you don't kill people. They grew up in the exact opposite situation, where they were told to kill and to not cry and to not snitch. Sorry, I'm burping. So it's very interesting. So I like the premise of the book, and I liked his writing style, which is why I think I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 5, because I'm not totally disappointed. It made me think, but I'm slightly disappointed, so I think it's just okay. But yeah, those are my thoughts. Guys, I only have one more book on my TBR, and then I'm done. Like, I'm probably not gonna make it. I'm fading real hard. I might take a 2-hour nap. Don't kill me. So I'm a bad person. It's currently 7:56. I planned on taking just a 2-hour nap, and it turned into a 4-hour nap. So now I'm going to start my 5th book, Down Beneath the Sugar Skies by Seanan McGuire, or Beneath the Sugar Sky. I added down among the sticks and bones with Beneath the Sugar Sky. Fun. But yes, I'm gonna do that while I'm so tired. I am going to listen to that while I make din. Hi guys, so it's several days later after the 24-hour readathon. My bad. So, and also my bad, because I feel like it's going to be a terribly long vlog of me just talking about things that I love and things that I'm kind of like, just like lots of rambles. So, apologize for that. Hopefully you enjoyed it, but I'm here to conclude the vlog. So the very first book I read was American Street by A.B. Zaboy, and I gave this, I think, a 4 out of 5 stars. Oh, I read Piercing Me Together by Renee Watson after this, which is definitely a I'm so excited. A 5 out of 5. 5 stars, because like, I just can't describe it. Like, if you heard me during this video ramble about this, I have love for this book. And then the next book I read was Dear Martin by Nick Stone, which I also really enjoyed, but I'm giving this a 4 out of 5 stars just because, like, it was good, but like, it didn't have that greater meaning impact that I felt for Piercing Me Together. And after reading Piercing Me Together, I also lowered a lot of my other ratings to 4 out of 5 rather than 5 out of 5. I'm becoming more of a critical reader, ooh. Then I read A Long Way Down by Jason Reynolds, which I gave a 3 out of 5 stars. And then Beneath the Sugar Sky by Seanan McGuire, which I gave, I think, a 4 out of 5 stars. But yeah, a really good reading day. And I took multiple naps, so I could have read more. So I'm a little bummed, but I think I did freaking amazing, and I'm so proud. And you guys should definitely let me know if you like this vlog, if you want more 24-hour readathons. Let me know. Follow me on Twitter if you want more updates about readathons and what I'm planning on doing for videos and stuff. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching and all the love and support, and I will see you in the next video.